Hi there, it's October 26, 2018. This is Andrew in Omaha, Nebraska, and today I'm going to be getting in my scrap bin and seeing what kind of projects I can make. I have a lot of oil tan leather that's left over from some clipboard projects that I completed last Christmas, and I've had this oil tan just sitting in the box, and it's time that I tried to utilize as much of it as I possibly can. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. I have two templates. Both of them are from the Springfield Leather Company. One of them is a Roper style cowboy wallet, and the other one is a miniature legal pad kit. And I'm going to be constructing those both out of the leather, which I also got from the Springfield Leather Company. It's 4 to 5 ounce oil tan. Also, I'm going to be using some small pieces of some suede scrap that I have laying around in order to finish off the inside of the two items. So I'm first going to start with the wallet, and then I'll move on to the legal pad. So here are the two projects I've decided to make. One's on the left side of the table, one's on the right. The first one is a Roper Western style wallet, and this is I believe a Springfield leather pattern and design. So what I have here is a piece of scrap suede that I'm going to line the inside of it with. I have 3 pieces of oil tan leather that were left over that I'm going to cut out for the pockets. And then this piece of scrap here, this is the main body. Obviously this is oil tan leather. We're not going to be tooling all this. I don't tool leather anyway, so we're just using this for the outline, and it barely fits on this piece, but it will work. So we will get a use out of this piece of scrap. Now over here is another Springfield leather kit, and this is a portfolio. I think this is like $7. It's pretty cheap, and it comes with these plastic cutout pieces. They're just sturdy enough for you to be able to draw the outline out. But again, this is the same piece of scrap suede that I found. I'll line the inside of the portfolio with that, and then I have the pieces for the pockets as well as the main body. All scrap. Working on the pockets for the card holder on the Roper wallet, and I just have to make sure that I'm flipping the pattern over so I get the clean side of this suede facing out when I go to stitch this together. The tools I'm using here, this is just a cheap Tandy leather hole punch, and I have them in a little box here, but it comes with all these different sizes and a little wrench here to change out the ends. I think this is like $15, $20 or something like that. This is just a cheap made in China hammer that I got for $5 at the local hardware store. And I'll be using this Tandy craft tool knife. What I'm going to use to hold the cards in place is Tyvek. This is sold by Maker's Leather Supply, and they provide this black Tyvek. I have yet to be able to find black Tyvek. Usually the only kind that I can locate in this area is the white stuff that they use to wrap houses with. But Aaron Heiser uses this. Basically his website's what introduced me to this. But it works really well for making pockets on these wallets because it's very strong. This stuff is made to stop wind from blowing through a home. But it'll fold like paper and it'll lay flat. So I'm just going to use some two-sided sticky tape and just go along here and make pockets for each of the cards before I stitch this together. All right, now I'm getting ready to cut out this Tyvek to make my pockets. I just have my expired Tandy Leather Club membership card here that I'll use to measure this out. I want just probably about that much sticking out. So I'm going to flip this over, draw a reference line here on the back. And that'll give me a starting point. All right, now I'm going to get started. I cut this strip out, and it is not perfectly straight. I could have done a better job on that, but it really doesn't matter too much because it's still going to be wide enough by the time I get to the top here. It's going to hold that card in place. It's not going to go anywhere. And it's not going to be seen from the outside. So this is Aaron Heiser's method for making these pockets. I am not taking credit for this at all. I'm copying what he taught me on his website and on his YouTube channel. And I'm just applying it to this project. I think he does have a roper project or a pattern available on his website and on his YouTube channel. I have not watched it. Like I said, this is a Springfield leather kit, but they all kind of just look the same to me. So if I remember right, he says to put a piece of tape along every single one of these. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, I got the pieces of sticky tape down. I find it easy to use one of these. I just have this little C.S. Osborne scratch-all. This is my favorite scratch-all. I have two bigger ones, but this one is a perfect size for doing leathercraft, but it also works really well to pry up the ends of this sticky tape. Sometimes, even though I have skinny fingers, I have difficulty getting that tape up. So go ahead and stick this down right below the bottom pocket opening. Then we'll pull this tight, go down here to this piece right there, stick it. We'll go up here, peel up the next tab. Pull it. Don't pull it up, but just taunt. Fold it just like a piece of paper. And then press down. Now, since I'm kind of like freehanding this, I know on his templates they kind of have this thing where you can put it up against these cuts for your card slots, and then you make a mark where you want the next piece of tape to go. I don't have that for this project, so I'm just gonna use the card here. And I'm gonna mark where this card came through the hole and where I want the bottom of it to stop, which is right there, and that's why I marked it with that pin. Then I'll just cut out a piece of tape. Stick it there and move on. Fold that over, press down, and there we go. Now we'll pull up the next one. Fold this, move up, and stick it. Now I'm just going to repeat that process all the way up, just like a ladder. And I did just run out of Tyvek. I did not measure that right at all. But I have this other strip. I'm just gonna take some tape, stick that together, and keep right on moving. Now, up here on the top, I have a piece of tape right here at the very top, and that's going to finish off this top pocket. Seal that down. Then I'll just cut that off. But basically, it's going to feed your cards in like that. And then I'll hold them in place. And that's going to go all the way up just like a ladder. I'll hold them all in place just like that. Now I'm just going to take some more sticky tape, and I'm going to use that to put the suede piece over the back here before it gets stitched down. I also get this from Maker's Leather Supply, and this stuff is awesome. In fact, it has cut down a level of glue that I use. I don't like using glue. Some people do. I don't. I like this tape. It's a lot stronger and stickier than what you might think. And I've made several wallets using Maker's patterns, Maker Leather Supply patterns, doing this method here. And they hold the cards just fine. Like I said, this Tyvek is strong. It's made for the use in construction of homes. And this adhesive tape, it's two-sided tape, and it is plenty sticky to hold this in place where it's not going to move once it's tacked down. All right, I've put sticky tape on all four corners of this piece, and I'm just going to tack down this piece of suede. It's not a perfect piece. It's got a little bit of glue stuck right there. Hopefully I should be able to rub that off. But overall, this is not going to be visible from the outside either. All this is to make a smooth, strong backing for this piece here. And then it's also going to serve as kind of a small pocket for this wallet. So if items are placed in there, then it's going to have something nice and smooth to slide over. Okay. Just like this pocket piece here, I also took the main backing piece and glued that, or I didn't glue it, rather I used the sticky tape on all four corners and stuck this piece of suede down. Now for this wallet, this is going to be the other pocket. And this oil tan leather is pretty smooth by itself, so this piece won't need a backing, but it's kind of look like this. These pockets are going to be stitched in. Whoops. And I'll use my Cobra Class 20 to sew this. Now, I'm going to be able to stitch all the way around this piece. But before I do that, I'm going to need to run a line of stitching on this pocket by itself. So it's going to hold this down, but it's still going to have access once it's stitched in on the other three corners on the edges, and then that'll be a pocket for right there. Now, a lot of these Roper wallets, it'll fold over like that. A lot of these Roper wallets will have multiple pockets on them, but like I said, I'm utilizing the leather out of my scrap bin, and this oil tan leather that I have is, I believe, 4 ounces. Correction, 5 ounces. 4 to 5 ounces. And that's just too thick to have multiple pockets on there. So this one's going to have to do with just these two main pockets here and nothing else extra. I'm going to put a 1/8 inch stitch groove down the edge that I'm going to sew here. Sorry about that. Like this is oil tan leather. You really can't finish the edges on these. Maybe somebody somewhere has an idea of how to do that, but the traditional way of beveling it and then turning around and burnishing the edges and getting that nice slick edge just doesn't really work for oil tan leather. I've got this machine loaded up with 137 nylon thread. It's dark brown. And this is a Cobra Class 20 flatbed sewing machine. Runs on a servo motor with a large speed reducer, so you can run it extremely slow. See, I can just go at a snail's pace if I want. And if you're wondering, yes, I love this Class 20 flatbed sewing machine. It's perfect for this type of a project. And as of today's date, which is October 26th, 2018, the prices on these Cobra sewing machines is about to go through the roof because of the tariffs that are going on with the people in Washington, D.C. Whatever they got going on there is going to increase the price of all these machines by about 25%, because I think all industrial sewing machines pretty much now are made in China. I can't think of any company that's not making their machines in China. I don't even know if Juki still makes their machines in Japan. I think they may have moved all the production over to China as well. Anyway, but all these Cobra sewing machines are made in China, and the leather machine company imports them to their facility, and then they go through them and bring them up to their specifications before they ship them out the door to their customers. But like the castings and everything, all that all comes from China. So the price of these machines is about to go up. Now we'll get ready to stitch the rest of this together. Now I'm just going to run some sticky tape on both of these pockets here and stick them to the main body of the wallet. Now I had a little snafu going around the corner. I don't know if I got that on video or not, but I was using my knee lift to help go around the corners here, and I accidentally bumped it when I didn't mean to do that, and it caused the loops to drop out. So I'm going to cut this out, put it back in the machine, and go back over those same holes and lock it back in. Now I went and took my X-Acto knife, popped those seams there, and I'm going to put it back in the machine here and go back over those same holes and lock it back in. Center up my knots here. I'm just going to come back in and burn the edges. So the wallet is now finished. It folds in half, and then it'll fit in somebody's back pocket, or it's like one of those cowboy wallets where about a quarter of it's sticking out of the top of a person's pocket. But it's got a pocket there, the pocket behind the card slots, and then it's got 5 slots for credit cards, driver's license, what have you. And this is all made from the scrap pieces that I had left in my bin. So, nice simple project. It was fun to make. This is Andrew in Omaha, Nebraska. Have a nice day.